Welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. I like to talk about books here in my basement, and we're going to talk about my favorite books that I read in 2024. I am not going to summarize all of these. I might give like bare bones, but I just want to talk about them and why I loved them. Some of them I have like best of titles for. Some of them I just loved too much and I wanted to talk about them again. So let's just jump right into it. I don't want this video to be too long. I just want to show these books off because I love them so much. I am picking them at random. I have them laid out on my puzzle board over here, so I'm just going to grab them. And as I grab them, I will talk about them because I don't like putting things in order. I'll just throw that out there. So top of the list that I grabbed is Cinnamon Bun by Raven's Dagger. This is a self-published, indie-published book from Raven's Dagger, and it's about Broccoli Bunch, who is dropped into a new world. She is isekai'd basically into a fantasy world. She is dropped on this ruined tower and just kind of left to her own devices. She is asked, she gets a quest prompt to destroy the dungeon core, and that's it. That's the end. That's all we know. It's so wholesome. It is the most wholesome thing I have read all year. If you like super easy, super sweet books, it has a plot, but it's so simple. It is just her leveling up skills and exploring the world. If you like that sort of thing, this is going to be for you. This is also very child-friendly. If you listen to audiobooks in a car, or you want to get somebody, like a young child hooked on fantasy, this is a great place to start. This is a whole series. There's Broccoli there, and it's so cute. I love it so much. I was constantly smiling and giggling while I was reading it, and I cannot wait to finish the series. And Raven's Dagger has a bunch of books. I need to read a lot more of their backlist. I just haven't yet. Let's see, what am I going to get over here? This is a hot take, and I have some really strong opinions about this book. But this is How to Become a Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. This is another isekai. Our main character is reborn in this world and she is tasked to save the world. But the problem is she has been doing this for I think it's over 1,000 years, maybe 10,000 years. She is constantly being reborn in a cycle loop. She fails to save the world. She is reborn right where she starts, and everything plays out exactly the same way. She can make choices and change things a little, but if she makes the same choices last time, it's going to go the same way. So at the beginning of the book, she's given up. She's lost her mind. She remembers all of this. She remembers all of the pain, all of the torture, all of the good moments. And she's like, I'm done. I'm just going to become the Dark Lord. Forget this world. I'm not going to save it. I'm going to destroy it. And it goes from there. There is this whole mechanic early in the book. The and die trying part is that she can basically reset herself. If she messes up and she gets captured or she misses something, she'll get herself killed. Unfortunately, she does remember that. She remembers the pain. This is a medieval style fantasy world. This isn't a quick blow to the head. She gets gutted or she gets strung up, something. And it was fun. It was hilarious. It had some very thoughtful moments in it, and I really liked the relationships. People have opinions on this that I don't agree with, but that's okay. I loved this. I thought it was great. Django Wexler is a fantastic author. She is unhinged. If you do not like an unhinged character, and you do not like a character who is somewhat masculine and is very just proud of herself and in charge, you're not going to like it. She's a little unruly, and you know what? I love her for that. See, next one. Let's go with this one because I think I know what this one is. Yeah. So best anthology. These short stories. This book sold me on Ann Leckie. Now I liked Ann Leckie. 100% liked Ann Leckie. But now Ann Leckie is like an auto-buy author for me. I have read, I think at this point, 3 or 4 of her books. And this collection of her work, which showed off the skill level and the width and breadth of her styles and skill, really sold me. I love this. It had a lot of fantasy stuff. It had a lot of science fiction stuff. If you like a good, strong collection of science fiction and fantasy stories with some thoughtful ideas in it, she explores a lot of themes and ideas here. I highly recommend this. It was really, really good. I think it's out in paperback now. I did read this before it came out as an e-arc, and I bought my own. I loved it so much. So Ann Leckie is an author I really liked. Even the stories where I didn't enjoy what she was exploring or the thought process she was going through, I enjoyed the story itself. So, I mean, that says a lot, I think. Let's see. Okay. Blood of the Old Kings. I tentatively have given this in my mind like the best cover award, and you can't really see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it if I make the camera zoom in a little. But I love the way that these people fill up this dragon. This is a translated, I think it is Korean fantasy novel. Yes, and South Korean fantasy novel, and it is about three people, one of which is a woman who gives up part of herself to a dragon to become king. One's an investigator, and one is a young girl at a magical school. The way these three people's lives start off separately but then slowly intersect, but they have very independent and strong storylines without each other, and it comes together so well. Oh my gosh. And there's a scene in the last quarter of this book with our investigator character where he is standing in this room and he is surrounded by these like ancestors, these mages, these things. Lives rent-free in my brain. It lives rent-free in my brain. I cannot recommend this. This has gone super under the radar. I strongly recommend it. I am very excited to see more from this author. I do believe this is the start to a series. I sincerely hope it is. And I want more. I want more. It is very underhyped, and that is a damn shame. That is a damn shame. Another one that went underhyped this year, but I understand why, because it's just, this is not the time of historical fiction, is The Stone Witch of Florence by Anne Roche. This is about a woman who has some magical ability. She can heal and do like magic with stones, and she's asked to stop the Black Plague in Florence. I just was surprised by this one. I still can't tell you exactly why this worked for me in the moment it did, but it truly, truly did. I loved our main character. I loved the setting of this plague-ridden and desolate Florence and the mystery of these missing saints parts. It was just, I kept turning the page, right? I kept turning the page. I want to know what was going to happen next. I want to know and understand what all these little like hints and things were. It was just, it had me turning the pages. And I loved it. I still love it. I really think I want to reread it. And now that I have a physical edition, I might just do that. I thought this was fantastic. I wish more people would read it and give it a shot. Another one that I know is probably not everybody's favorite. I like funny books. We'll just throw that out there halfway through the list. But I like funny things, and a lot of people don't like funny things. I have a very crude sense of humor. I love to laugh. So if you can make me laugh, you get a lot of points for that. But Running Close to the Wind by Alexandra Rowland was hilarious. Was one of the funniest things I read this year. I would do anything for Avra, our main character. I adored this. Avra steals these plans for this super secret, top secret thing that his country can do. And he takes off and he seeks out the help of an ex-paramour on a boat. They are the captain of a pirate ship, and he takes off looking for help from them. And this was comped to, what is the name of that show with Blackbeard and, oh no, what is the name of it? Our Flag Means Death. This is comped to Our Flag Means Death. I 100% agree with that comp. Avra he is ridiculous. He's not unhinged. He is just so over the top and just unexpected. He's doing stuff like hiding on top of a wardrobe with a knife, poking people to keep them away from him so he can listen to a conversation, even though everyone in that room knows he's there. He's like, I refuse to leave. And, no one wants to get close to him. He's got a pointy knife. He's on top of a wardrobe. It's like getting a cat down. So he gets his way. I saw some people call it straight up stupid, and you know what? I get it, but it's funny. I think it's funny. I stand by that. I want more like this. Alexandra Rowland is another author that I will read pretty much anything they write. I read A Taste of Golden Iron and loved that, and Tadak and the Princess, which was the pseudo sequel to that, also loved that as well. So Alexandra Rowland, they do it for me. They do it for me. Another, one I didn't hear enough about, honestly. The Emperor in the Endless Palace by Justinian Huang. This is about two men and their lives as they are born and die over and over, and how they kind of are always interwoven. Three men. And wow. So some of the complaints on this one I've seen is it's very sex heavy, which it is, but not in an erotic way. But one of our guys in one lifetime is effectively like a prostitute. He uses his masculine wiles to get what he wants from people, and it's just part of the story. It's not written to tantalize or be enjoyable. It's just something he does. And then other parts of the story are a little more drier and they're a lot more introspective, and we see how all three of them really try so hard to come together, but always end up destroying each other or breaking each other apart. And it's the most bittersweet book I read all year. It's absolutely beautifully written, and I really, truly recommend it if you like that sort of thing. It is not your traditional romance, not at all, but I think it is well worth a read. And it draws from actual Chinese history, so that is a huge plus for me. It is a huge plus for me. I loved this book so much. Let's grab over here. One of the first books I read this year with an ending that has stuck to me like glue is The Martyr by Anthony Ryan. I talk about Anthony Ryan at length here on the channel. I feel like I mention him at least once every other video. He is a favorite author. And the ending of The Martyr, holy cow. I still haven't picked up The Traitor. I really, really need to. But this ending, oh my God. This story follows our main character, Alwyn Scribe. He starts out as a thief, a vagabond in the forest, and he ends up embroiled in this huge religious rebellion, and he becomes the right hand of a woman who claims to see visions from the gods, and she wants to change the world in which they live because of those visions. But the question ultimately ends up being, is she truly seeing visions from the gods, or is she seeing visions from somewhere else and someone else? And is it the truth, or is it going to destroy the world? And the ending. The title of the third book is The Traitor, and honestly, I'm afraid of it. I am honestly afraid of it. Maybe that's why I haven't picked it up, but I need to grit my teeth. Maybe I'll read it at the beginning of the new year to start off with a hell of a bang, because there's no way it won't be. We'll see. Let's see, hold on. Let me pull these over here because I've got some over here. I actually don't remember how many books are on this list. I think it's like 12 or 13, 12 maybe. So we're almost done. I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. Everyone, it feels like on the internet, hauled this book, but I didn't see a whole lot of reviews myself. I am here to tell you this is fantastic. Worth the hype. Stephen Graham Jones is a very, very good author. I have read several of his short works and this longer work, and I was hooked with this one. It's not what I expected. So this is the story of, what is his name? Tolly. I was going to say Tully, and that wasn't it. Tolly Driver, and he becomes a slasher. I will spoil this just a hair because I think you need to know this. He becomes a slasher through supernatural means. I will say, that's all I will say. There is a supernatural element to this, and it is clever. It is very, 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 very clever. I've never seen it done like that. This book is gruesome. This book is violent. He is a slasher. We are in his point of view, first-person narrative. He is writing this story to us. So don't read it if that's going to bother you. But he's a slasher in his own version of a horror movie. And we follow him as he, does the deeds, does the things. And we see who his final girl is, how he survives, why he kills the way he kills. And just that whole reflection on his life that he gives. It's beautiful, and it is just so enthralling. I couldn't put it down. I have a thing. I really like books that just hook me and pull me through the story. I like slow reads, but clearly I like the stuff that really gets me going. Let's do this one because, again, I love funny books. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Maybe my best book of the year, but I'm not going to say that with confidence. I'm not going to say that with my whole chest. It could be. One of these could be better, but I'm not going to sit here and ponder it to tell you for sure because I love them all. But Dungeon Crawler Carl, if you haven't heard me rant about this book, is about Carl, who is out trying to catch his ex-girlfriend's prize-winning cat when the world is effectively squashed. Everything in a building or structure is squashed, and those remaining are told if they would like to survive or fight to survive, they can enter the dungeon. Entrances are scattered all over the world. Please proceed, otherwise you will die within a few hours when we, purge the surface. It is an apocalyptic apocalyptic novel. We'll say that. The apocalypse will be televised is the tagline here from the indie edition, and that is accurate. The dungeon below is like rigged, so you have to compete to try and make it to the certain floor to survive. In this world, you get sent to other dungeons or other jobs or whatever, or you could try to save your world. Who knows if that's ever happened, because this whole televised thing has been going on for thousands of years, millions of years at this point, I think. But Carl decides he's got to take part. And there's a talking cat, and she is my queen. I love Princess Donut. I am a member of the Donut Holes, which is basically her fan club. I love this series so much. It's getting traditionally published. So far, the first 3 books are out traditionally. 4, 5, and 6 are being put out traditionally next year in beautiful hardbacks. So if you want to try it out, now it's time to jump in. The 7th book just came out, independently published. And I believe book 8 is slated for next year, like mid-year or end of the year. So keep an eye out for that. We've got 4 left, 3 shorties, and this one. My best Danmei of the year is Ballad of Sword and Wine. I loved this. This was another one. I took this on vacation. My family and our best friend went to Hilton Head? We went to the beach. I can't remember right now. Went to the beach. I couldn't put this down. I was sitting out on the balcony, just in it. I took it to the actual beach itself. It still smells like a little bit like sand and ocean water. It was so good. Oh my God. It's about a young man whose father betrays the kingdom. He is brought before the emperor as is going to be made to pay for his father's crimes, but is for some reason spared. And another young man who has sworn that he is his enemy because of the actions of his father, and how the two of them develop a situationship. We'll call it that. And it is so good. The second book I am reading, I like a cozy book right now, and I'm reading the second one after that because the third one comes out in January, and I got to keep up with it. I have to. One novella series that I highly recommend is Rover, powered by Drew Hayes. Another wholesome book about a young girl with a corgi. She wants to be a wizard, and in her world, you bond with animals to receive their magical gifts. And she's going to bond with her little one-eyed corgi named Wibbles. And they're so cute. Oh my God. Wibbles is the truest, best doggo I have read in ages, and I loved this. They're very short. You can pick them up. They're on Kindle Unlimited. I highly recommend them. Try them out. See what you think. If nothing else, it's just a pleasant refresh for your brain. 100%. Then the last novel that I have is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Max Gladstone and Amal El Motar. I can hear it said correctly in my mind, but my mouth does not cooperate. This is the most romantic book I have ever read. Unexpectedly so, but it is. It is about 2 time war agents on opposite sides, red and blue, and how they cross paths and how they foil and then help each other at turns and slowly fall in love through letters. It is told through letters, and we jump through times and worlds. So there is no concrete setting. There is no easily followed plot through this. I have seen people complain of that, but it is so romantic. Some of the lines in this were beautiful. We have 2 people who are on opposite sides of a war but end up fighting so hard for each other, and I reread this year, and it still made my best of list. I think that means a lot. And finally, worth the hype, my one manga on the list is Dandadan. If you're in the anime or manga scene at all, you have heard of Dandadan. Highly recommend picking it up. It is fantastic, hilarious, unexpected, quirky, weird, and just wonderful. There is a questionable scene in the first book, but don't worry, it comes back for our male character in the 3rd or 4th volume. So, equal opportunity. And right now, the first season basically of the anime in the first 3 or 4 volumes, I love the way the mangaka is focusing on violence against women in a way. He's doing it in a way that it's subtle. It's not heavy-handed, but if you look at it, everything they face has something to do with that, and I appreciate that. I'm very excited to see where he goes. I'm on volume 5 right now, but highly recommend. 100% worth the hype. Very good. The opening theme song, I'm one of the people who sings it nonstop. It's so catchy. Creepy Nuts did such a good job. But that is it. That's my best books of 2024. 2025, I hope, will be a little more stable. This year, I, left my jobs of over a decade, and I'm staying at home now, so things have changed. My reading went wild for a bit. But hopefully now things will settle out and we'll see some more great stuff coming next year. I am hoping to have a superlatives video coming up soon. I have some pretty funny categories. I had my husband help me, so look forward to that. But let me know if you've read any of these, if you're interested in them. What were some of your best books? Give me some of those because I want to know. I love seeing people's best books posts. But all that to say, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching this year. If you have, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I love and appreciate all of you, and I will talk to you again next video. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Bye.